Right then folks, for these questions we're going to be looking at using the sine rule to find missing angles and lengths. You'll notice again I've put the kind of reasons as to why we use it. So you're going to be looking at using this with non-right angled triangles, and it's when we have pairs of sides and angles. The cosine rule was 3 sides and 1 angle. This is where you have 2 pairs, and again there's 2 versions. One is just the reciprocal of the other. So you want the lowercase letters on the top if it's finding a missing side, and you want the information with sine of the angle and sine of the other angle on the top if you're finding a missing angle. So again, I'm going to go through 2 examples and we're going to see if we can solve these. So for question number 1, you'll see that we have 2 pairs of sides and angles. So I'm going to call this one capital A, which means directly opposite is lowercase a, and capital B, so directly opposite, lowercase b. So we're trying to find the missing side, so we're going to go for our first formula. If we state the formula, so A over sine A is B over sine B, and underneath that substitute in. So we've got x over sine 23 equals 15 over sine 76. And then what we have to do is escalate, because we're trying to find x. So if we isolate x, we have to multiply by the sine 23. So x equals 15 times sine 23 over sine 76. And number crunching time, so calculator, 15 times sine 23 divided by sine 76, close brackets, and I get 6.04 to 2 decimal places, centimetres. Okay, for example number 2, you'll see that again we've got 2 pairs of angles and sides, so we're going to go about in the same way. Label first of all, so there's a capital A, directly opposite, lowercase a. There's a capital B, directly opposite, lowercase b. The difference between this and the first example though is we're now going to use our formula with sine A on the top of the fractions because we're trying to find a missing angle. State the formula next then. So sine theta over A, sorry that should have been an A really, is sine B over B. It's the second line where we should be replacing. So sine of theta divided by 6 is sine 63 divided by 9. Our next step is to first of all escalate the 6 to get sine theta on its own, because the aim is to find theta here. Oops. So sine theta is 6 times sine 63 divided by 9. And then to get rid of the sine, we have to use our inverse sine. So 6 times, just going to scroll that up so you can see, 6 times sine 63 divided by 9. And that gives us, again, some calculating time. Sine to the -1, so using our shift key, 6 times sine 63 divided by 9, all close brackets, and that gives me an angle of 36.44 to 2 decimal places. Okay, so that's how we use our sine rule to find missing sides and angles. I'll just kind of scroll that back so you can see it all before we kind of stop the